Thank you very much for attending my presentation. The presentation is going to be talking about how having the right relationship can triple your income. Before I start, let me just ask a question. What is more important to you, having the, hands up those of you that believe in having the right relationship is more important than being a millionaire, for argument's sake? So the relationship, yes, a bit. So the relationship, hands up those of you that say the relationship is more important than being financially free. Brilliant. Why would you say that? Makes you happier. Good. Happier? They're both on the balance. You, sir? Yep. Because if you're happy in your relationship, then the money will follow because you're more productive. Thank you. You, sir? More happier. Brilliant. Jackie? It's interesting, but the thing is, a lot of people want the money first, then do with the relationship. There's a lot of millionaires that are unhappy out there, and I bet there's people that you know that are unhappy but have got a lot of money as well. So, as you touched on, happy relationships. Often the things that truly make us happy and successful in life are not our technical expertise or business victories, but our personal relationships at work and in our domestic lives. And I think we've more or less just confirmed that by that question that I've asked you there as well. So very quickly about myself, I don't have any fancy degrees or qualifications. My journey was a very, started off as a painful one, and that enabled me to be able to help people improve their lives. I qualified as a driving instructor in 1997, and I got married in 2005. Unfortunately, divorced in 2007, which was the turning point in my life, a very painful divorce. And then I started studying life coaching, and I qualified as a life coach in 2009. And what I was doing, I was loving to help people improve their life. I was very passionate about people that lacked most things in their life and how they can achieve the things that they want to achieve in their life. And I realized that with coaching, a lot of people are not aware that they have all the answers to the solutions to their problems in their life and how they can achieve what they really want in their life. And I found this coaching really, really amazing. It was around about the time when The Secret came out. Anybody know about The Secret? The Secret? The Secret is basically, it was a book, started off as a book, and then it was a film about the law of attraction, what you think about, you attract into your life. But not just specifically, I'm going to be rich, I'm going to be rich, I'm going to be rich, but you need to take action on those thoughts as well. Does that make sense? So I focused to work with single women initially as well. I had a knack of finding women, the right men, the right husbands. I found women, husbands after 4 or 5 coaching sessions. And I found that working with women was a lot easier than working with men, because men tend to have an ego, and women are more emotional, and you mostly get a lot more proactive and more honest from a woman as opposed to a man. A man can go out, he wants to find a woman very easily and go out and do that. I won an award, Relationship Coach of the Year in 2013 for the APCTC, which stands for the Association of Professional Coaches, Trainers and Consultants. And like I said, I created a wedding after only 3 coaching sessions as well. So one of my main businesses is to help single women to find, attract, and also not just to find, but to keep the right man as well. But this presentation is not about helping women, even though there's a few men in there as well. You can go to my website for that. I'm also the founder of the Academy of Relationship Coaches, and what that does, it trains people to become relationship experts and set themselves up in business with that as well. And I'm launching a matchmaking service next year as well. So it's connecting people, set them up with profiles and vetting both the men and the women to match them up. I'm touring the USA in 2015, and my book launch is in June 2015 in London, and then USA and Canada. And there's some of the products that I create. So that's enough about myself. So relationships are everything. And what I would say is, do not ignore those that are close to you. We all have someone that's close to us, but sometimes they don't always do what we want them to do. But we know that if we've got those people that are close to us, that will help us improve areas in our life. Now, it's very important, especially to do with your business, as we both all echo, that you need to identify the relationships in your life that need to be stronger. Whether it's your business, whether it's your personal, maybe you just want to lose weight, or you want to become more fitter, because obviously if you're becoming more fitter, you have more energy. If you have more energy, you're more productive. You're more productive, you're more likely to make more money in your business. So you must make a conscious effort to focus on them. It's so important that you make that conscious effort to focus on that. And you make time for that. How many of you in here have really honestly made conscious time for yourself, developing yourself? And I bet a lot of us, excellent. What do you do to develop yourself? Reading, excellent. CDs, courses, excellent. So there's a guy. Round of applause for the gentleman in the front there. He doesn't want it. You've got it anyway, no problem. Good. And that you can develop them, and you can invest in them, and you can make time for yourself to grow as well. So it's all about learning and growing. Because most people, when they have a relationship, and I think we have all been there, including myself, guilty of that. You've been single for a while, and you meet someone, and you think that is the one, and everything else that you was doing prior to that, that maybe was developing yourself, stops, because you're focusing on that area there. And when you're focusing on that area there, all the other areas of your life come back and bite you eventually. So it's whether you're not going to the gym, or you're not working on yourself and stuff like that. And participate in personal development, like the gentleman here said before, i.e. books, CDs, or even just go to YouTube and just type in the search bar in there what you would like to improve your life on, and it's free, and you can actually go down there and get that on there as well. So let's look at some of the disadvantages of having the wrong relationship. As I think we all said in here, that you will be unhappier. So if you're unhappier, you then become less productive at work. Can we agree with that? So you become less productive at work. When you're being less productive at work, you're not giving your best. You're not giving your best at work, therefore it's hindering you on moving forward. And that creates a negative energy that you're sending out. And as you're sending out that negative energy, you then have a lack of motivation to do anything, most things. You're walking around like you're carrying a skip around with you, and then you're feeling lethargic, and you're not getting the best out of how you want to be. So the advantages of having the right relationship, you'd be more happier. And do you really feel that when you're happier, you have more energy? And as you have more energy, you're more productive. Especially at work. And you tend to find that those that are more happier and more productive, that are usually going for the promotions at work, and not just if you're employed, but with your business as well, then you tend to find that if you're self-employed, ideas come to you that will just come to you that you would not have noticed before. Does that make sense? So if you're more happier, that's what happens as well. Positive energy, you're more motivated, and that equals for you to make more money, because you're then more motivated and you have a lot more energy. Sometimes you find that you are looking for an opportunity. Let's say you was looking for a web designer, or you was looking for a particular job. Usually when all these things are going on in your life, you tend to find that usually hits you when you're doing that, when you're in that positive mindset. When you're not in that place, your brain is not actively searching and looking out for that. So this is what I'm going to be covering in the agenda. How being in the right relationship can improve your business, how to have more quality time together and maintain your connection when you're away, how to communicate better and make the most out of meals together with your partner and with your family, how to improve your communication skills to support successful relationship building at work and in your personal life, the male and female mind, how men and women's brains tend to cope differently with challenges in relationships, and how you can use this knowledge to improve your relationship success. How to use the law of attraction, like I covered on briefly before, and positive visualization to strengthen your relationships and bring wonderful things in your life, and why it's important to surprise each other in a good way, how to ask for honest feedback that helps you grow in your relationship and your career, and why successful relationships are more important than money to you in happiness and life success. So, the right relationship. How being in the right relationship can improve your business success. What is the right relationship? Who knows what the right, how do you know you're in the right relationship? Anybody? I'll take it everyone's single in here then. We don't know, that's why we're coming to see you. Do you have a feeling? Sometimes you have that feeling that this feels right, and sometimes you just go with the flow. But I'd say the three most important components of that are you share the similar beliefs, values, and goals in that. But what a lot of us do, we don't find that out in the early stages. Sometimes we don't bother actually going through that. But if you've got someone, now all of these are not going to be 100%, but if they tick the beliefs, the values, and the goals, if you know what those main areas in your life are you for, then that's what I would say that you would have the right relationship. If you're single, I'm not going to ask, those of you that are single in here, you must have a productive relationship with yourself, and you must love yourself. When I say this to people, I get raised eyebrows. When was the last time you really spoilt yourself? When was the last time you really, really looked after yourself and spoilt yourself? I.e., for example, I go to the hairdressers every week. Can't you tell? But that's my thing. I get my beard done, obviously, because there's no hair on my head. But that's my thing. Some people like to go to have massages, but there's something that makes you feel good. It may be that you just like to buy a particular book. I remember when I was going through my divorce, every Friday, religiously, just to make me feel good within myself, I'd order a couple of books from Amazon, inspirational books, and that helped make me feel good. And the book will then come the week after. I'd read that book, and then the other one will be coming there as well. So that's that as well. You're happier when you're in a right relationship. You have more energy, you have a spring in your step. The things that would upset you before just bounces off you. I'm not really unhappy. When you're not in that right relationship, what then happens then is you're more sensitive. You're more sensitive, you're more prone to getting upset over the minor things that not really that significant to you as well. When you're in a right relationship, you have more energy. So if you have more energy, you're more productive in your work. If you're productive in your work, you're going to be increasing more money, making more opportunities for yourself as well. You feel positive, you're more productive. So how to have more quality time together and maintain your connection when you're away. Now, if one of you are away, there's technology, as we know, there's texting, social media, and sending loving and positive messages maintains that loving connection. But supposing you're single, what you could do is visualize what you'd really like to do with quality time with your partner. It doesn't matter if you're in a relationship and you can plan and visualize, this is how you want things to be. This is what I'm going to do for my partner when I actually find that right person. Then what you then would find is that when you find that partner, you automatically know what you're going to be doing in that area. If you're in a relationship, when was the last time you spent quality time with your partner? I won't ask you all those who are in a relationship, because I'm assuming everyone's single in this room. And you need to be honest with yourself. If you cannot look in the mirror and be honest with yourself, then who could you be honest with? And this is one of the things that I always emphasize to men and women and couples. We all, hands up those of you that do not have any issues apart from me. So we admit that we all have unresolved issues. We all have stuff. There's always one that says not me. But there's always one, there's always an issue that we all have, that particular issue that we know, and we know that when we go into a relationship, that person was most probably going to trigger that. One of the problems I suppose myself, I used to have issues with being right all the time. I always felt I was right. And this is when I was married. I mean, I must admit, I must have gave my ex-wife life hell in that area. And whenever she disagreed with me, I used to really take it really personally. And it's only when I started to work on myself with the coaching, all that it was her opinion. But the meaning I gave that was a lot more deeper. So because the meaning I gave it was deeper, I'm reacting as if I'm taking it personally. And now when anybody disagrees with me, most times, I just look at it as black and white. You see it that way, and I see it that way. But that was one of mine. What's your one? What's your one? If you was to date yourself, what would you really hate about yourself? Or if I was to ask your last few ex-partners, what would they really hate about you? And every time I ask that question, one, no one's really asked them that before, and two, it gets them really thinking. But remember I said, you need to be honest with yourself, because I guarantee there's a pattern there, and that area of your life, you're carrying it from relationship to relationship without you realizing it. If you hate people being late, and your partner's you was flipped when that person was being late, why is that? And it's possibly not even that partner's possibly triggered that within you at the end. Deep stuff. I mean, how's that linked with the money? This relates because until you understand yourself, that issue that you have there, the energy and your time that you're giving yourself with that, is preventing you from moving forward. It's preventing you from creating positive opportunities for yourself as well. So how to communicate better and make the most out of meals together with your partner and with your family. Now, whether you're single or you're not now, but what about with your relationships that you've had previously? How many times did you really sit down and have a meal together? Not even just with the family, but just with that partner. That's really, really important. Switch off your phones, no social media, and just be in that moment. Now this prepares your mind, and it prepares you to be more focused and more productive within yourself and in that particular relationship as well. What you could do is reflect on the previous week and focus on the positives of that week with your partner. You know, what did you like that I did for you this week? Did you like I made you tea, for example, tea before you went to work? The simple little things like that. Let them know that how you felt about that. Who's heard of Love Languages by Gary Chapman? Just one person. There's different ways of languages, how we send out what languages that are compatible with us for love. So what I would say to that is, if you just write that down, look it up on YouTube or look at the book, because this will help you with that. I won't go into that too much depth, but Love Languages by Gary Chapman. It's a very good book, and you'll be surprised about yourself and also your previous relationships as well. How to improve your communication skills to support successful relationships building at work and in your personal life as well. Discuss how each of you can add value to help up each other's career. So for example, when you're in that relationship and you're with that person, just ask them, how can I add value to help your career? Just think about that. I think we rarely do that, especially if you're both busy. But you'd be surprised, it could be that you could help them with a website, you could help them with a presentation. It may mean that you could give them time off if you have children. Just communication of that as well. The male and female mind, how men and women's brains tend to cope differently with challenges in relationships, and how you can use this knowledge to improve your business success. Question 1. What is the number one complaint women have about men? Guys, what's the number one complaint that women complain about? No idea? Want to guess? No? Don't listen. Yep. Leave the toilet seat up. Yeah. Why don't they just put it down, eh? It's very simple. You just put the toilet... No, this is the wrong seminar for that, unfortunately. But no, yeah, you're right. They say that we don't listen. What happens is, our brains cannot take as much information as the women's can take. So what then happens then, we get a brain overload and we switch off. It doesn't mean we don't care, it doesn't mean we don't love you. Our brain can't cope with that. For example, you see men having a conversation at these seminars and you see a bunch of women, I guarantee you the women's conversations are going on longer than the men. And we're just solution focused. What do we need to do? Bang, yep, we do that. Women want to go into the history of how it went, and then they always go off at a tangent, most of the time, and talk about something irrelevant to what they originally was talking about, and then it's worse if another 2 or 3 women, and all of a sudden they're talking for 2 or 3 hours about nothing really productive, unfortunately. What is the number one complaint men have about women? Okay, women. You talk too much. Anyone else? This is based on John Gray, by the way, and I've just... That you're too non-intelligent. Oh, intelligent. The number one complaint men have about women is that they always want to change us. Always want to change us. Always want us to mould us into how they would like us to be. I can see you reflecting back. Actually, yeah, he's right, because I remember when I want to do... Not for the first 6... No, once they've got their foot in. For the first 6 months, everything's fine, and she's right, now I've got in there. Right, I want you to do this, 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 and this. So how can this help your business if you are aware of this? Anyone? If you know how the male and female mind work, just based on those sort of two. So if you've got someone that you're working with, and you know that her complaint is that she knows if she's going to speak to you that you're not going to really listen to her, which I'm sure this happens in the work environment as well. If, as a professional woman, is aware of this, then you can work that to your advantage, can't you? Because what you then can do is, you can focus on the things that will drive him to show interest, instead of maybe the general things that he wasn't aware of. And then you can become more productive in that way. Understanding how different your partner's brain reacts to positive and negative situations will improve your personal and business life. If you now know that your partner wants to change you, men, and she wants to change you, then you need to look at that, and if she's one of those types of women, it's actually maybe communicate it to her in a way without making it obvious that you're saying to her, you're trying to control me. Yes? No, if there's a problem with a man, if you want to communicate to a man at work, most women would just talk to a man more probably how she would talk to a woman, because she just wants the job done. That's how we're programmed to do that. But if you knew, for example, if you wanted a man wanted to prepare a report for you, that's really important, and you asked him to do that, and for example, you asked him to do it, and you want it done by, I don't know, Thursday at 3 p.m. He may feel that you're controlling in that way. But what you could do is link in with the conversation that will benefit him in a subtle way. So let's say, for example, he wants you to, you know that he wants you to do something for him as well. So let's say, for example, you need some, I don't know, if you're an accountant, you needed some audit done by someone in another department that you didn't really want to do, but you knew that he wanted you to do that for him. If you hit that conversation, if you communicate that to him, and then subtly just link it in with, oh, actually, I will get that report to you on your desk by 1 o'clock tomorrow morning, he's then not going to feel as though you're controlling because he wants that done. Does that make sense? So we're very simple, us men. Seriously, we're very, very simple. You tell us to do one thing, we will do that one thing, and we will master it. That's why the best chefs are male, because we focus on that. Women can multitask. Women can do 15 million things at the same time and get on with it. But us men, we can't. 2 or 3 things, our brain starts firing and we can't cope. Brain overload. Is that true, guys? Daydreaming. How to use the law of attraction and positive visualization to strengthen your relationship and bring wonderful things in your life. Like I said before, the law of attraction, what you focus on is what you become, and you must take positive action towards that. If you want to be successful, then you need to think success, but then also in the same time, act successfully as well. Take action. If you know that you need to study web design, if you know you need to study social media, there's no point just thinking about it, because as some gurus and some people say, just think positively and everything will come to you, which is nonsense. It's not going to happen, because then everybody will be sitting there thinking, I want to win a lottery, I want to win a lottery, I want to win a lottery, and focusing on that, and nothing happens. It's the same thing if you're saying, I want the right relationship, I want the right relationship, but you're not doing anything. So you need to be proactive and taking positive steps to act to that as well. Now, how do you deal with conflicts? If you're in a relationship and somebody upsets you, there's usually a pattern on how we react. But what conversation are you telling yourself when you're having that conflict? Because the conversation you're telling yourself is going to determine how you feel, and how you feel is going to determine how you're going to react. And there's times that we've just reacted to situations where we look back and think, if I was in a better place then, I would have been a lot more productive. This has a negative effect on your business, and it will prevent you from being proactive at work as well. How much time do I have, please? Anybody? Haven't got time? Good, thank you. And like I said before, any problem you have, whether it's relationships or business, ask yourself some empowering questions. If there's any problem that you have going along, ask yourself empowering questions. For example, what else could this mean? So if you're in a situation where you're upset, it doesn't necessarily mean what you've thought about at that point is the only way you can see that. So if you could ask yourself, what else could this mean? And also, what have I learned from this situation? What is good about this? Because once we're in that negative mindset, what we tend to do is stack. So we pile on the more negativity, more and more and more, and then all of a sudden it explodes. This will prevent you from being successful in your business, believe it or not. All these things contribute towards that. So if you have any issues or you have a problem and you ask yourself these questions, these can only be positive, because you're asking yourself closed, positive questions. Why is it important to surprise each other in a good way? Who likes surprises? Right. You don't like surprises, no? You daydreaming again? So why is it important to surprise each other in a good way? It keeps the relationship exciting, fresh, new, and avoids boredom and also routine. Therefore, if it's fresh, it's new, you have more energy, you're more happier, and you're more productive. So what does your partner or future partner really like to be surprised with? What did your last partner like to be surprised with? For those of you in a relationship, what does your partner like to be surprised with? I know some of you in here are married. Go home and surprise your partner today. I demand you to do that. Because it just makes you feel more productive, more better. But some of you look at me and say, I'm single, I haven't got a partner, what do I do? Well, prepare you. If you are single, what would you like to be surprised with as well? Those of you that are single, women in there, is it chocolates, is it flowers, candlelit meal? None of those, no? Flowers, is it flowers, yeah? What about you? Nothing. Okay, swiftly moving on. How to ask for honest feedback that helps you grow in your relationship and in your career. How can your relationship help your career? Ask for honest feedback, but it needs to be the correct time for both of you. When a man comes home from a long day at work and you want to talk about something really important, ladies, most men have a routine when we come in. It's usually we come in and we just want to just de-stress and wind down. Especially if there's children. No, daddy, they're jumping us. We usually want to just have a shower, have a hot drink, and then have our dinner, and then we're there for you, definitely. But if he comes home and he has a stressful day and you want to talk to him about really important stuff, his brain's going to be saying, not now, I can't take that. He'll react to you in a way to say, look, just put it off for a while. If it's very important for you, then you're going to take that personally because it's really important. You're then going to feel neglected, and all of a sudden it's a big problem. But if you, like I said before, if you understood how men's and women's brains react to a situation, and you've had those boundaries set in the beginning, then that will reduce that, and that will help you with your business as well. Makes you become more productive in your business as well. So it's important because you get honest feedback. When you get the honest feedback, try to avoid blaming. We all like to blame. Why do we like to blame the other partner? Just picture this, you're having a relationship argument and you're both arguing, but you want to blame the other person. Why is that? How do you feel when you blame the other person? You're laughing. When we blame the other person, how does that make us feel? Better, superior, yes. Right, wrong, confident, yes, it's all, doesn't want to respect responsibility, okay? And it's usually something we're afraid of as well. But if we took that meaning away from it, and just say how you feel, and not make the wrong person wrong, then that makes a difference. So if I'm having an argument with you and I say, when you're always late, it makes me feel disrespected that you're not valuing what I'm trying to prepare for you. Instead of me saying, you're always late, you make me sick, every time you're late, you see what I mean? Then what happens then is she's going to respond to me. What about the time you did X? And then he gets into an argument. And what usually happens is the first problem is not even dealt with because we've gone on a tangent. But it's very difficult for someone to react negatively towards you if you say, do you know something, when you do that, it makes me feel X. Does that make sense? And that way you're not blaming, and then they will say, okay, I'm sorry that you make them feel that way. And then you can say, what I'd appreciate if you could do this instead. This method, it improves communication, it helps you in yourself be more productive, more positive, and also you be more proactive in your business life as well. Who agrees that when you have a massive argument, usually at night, do you tend to find out when you go to bed you have a crap sleep? It drags on, you wake up in the morning and you just feel like crap. But if you had a lovely night, you wake up in the morning, you're bags of energy, and you walk into work like you've got spring on your step for various reasons. I asked before when we started, the three of you at the back, what's more important? Hello, yes, I saw you sneaking. What's more important for you, having the right relationship or being financially secure? Honestly. Now you've got to choose one. Sit on the fence, both. Right relationship. Right relationship. Why would it be the right relationship and not the money? I didn't hear that, sorry? Money can't buy happiness. But it's interesting that we've all more or less said that, but we focus more on making the money than finding that right relationship. Does that make sense? I mean, some of you are married in here, but if you think about that, we want the right relationship more important than the money, because we know you could meet someone and they've got all the money and you just don't feel connected to them, but yeah, you've got the house, you've got the car, you've got all the money, but you're not happy and fulfilled. Well, you could be living with someone in a room and be so much happier. That makes sense. And if you're more happier in that, would you agree that you will be then more successful in your work, in your career, because you have more energy and you're more happier. And like I said, if you're more happier, you're more productive in your career. Money can only provide you with so much fulfillment, only so much, as you know. Work on yourself first and then your relationship. So if you're in a relationship now, which is good if you are, and it's still good if you're single, but start to work on yourself. What's most important to you? What are your values? What are your beliefs? What type of relationship do you want? What type of relationship do you do not want as well? And you will reap the benefits from your career, because you will automatically reap the benefits from your career. Automatically you will. Having the right romantic partner and building happy relationships in your personal life is an essential component to business success. If you're happy in your personal life, you'll be able to feel more energized at work. Many of the same communication skills and strategies that make people successful in their personal relationships can also contribute to bigger success in our careers. So before I'm going to be wrapping up, most importantly, love yourself first. You must love yourself first. What I mean by loving yourself, spoil yourself. Guys, if you want to, how do you feel when you go out and buy a nice pair of shoes and a suit? We feel good, don't we? Yeah? It might be the trainers, it might be our football team's shirt or sport or whatever it is. And ladies, what do you like? Is it usually the shoes, clothes? Christmas is coming up. When you go and you buy clothes for yourself, you feel good. Spa. Some of you, the women, like to go to spa. I always encourage a lot of my clients to go and get yourself pampered. I actually go to a spa and have a massage, because when you're in that zone and you're in that place and you're just being pampered and spoiled, you come out of that the gym or the treatment room and you feel better within yourself. And once you start feeling better within yourself, you'll become more productive within your life as well. And be happy with yourself. If you're not happy with yourself, you need to work on yourself to make yourself more happier, because nobody, and I repeat, nobody is going to make you more happier than yourself. And you need to take full responsibility for that. If you know that you're going through some issues, there's coaches, there's therapists, there's counsellors. There's nothing wrong with getting help. I mean, I see my counsellor, and when I come out of there, I'm on a high. I'm on cloud 9. It's the best thing I can do. Imagine offloading all your stuff to somebody that doesn't judge you and they can just guide you on how you can improve your life. Because we all have issues. And over in America, they brag, I'm going to go and see my shrink at 9 o'clock on a Thursday, like it's like they're going to the gym in America. Over here, oh, what's wrong with him? Oh, God, he's got some mental issues there. He's going to see a counsellor. God. And I said to somebody the other day, and he goes, are you all right? You're going to see a counsellor? You've got a few screws missing there. You're okay? I said, no. I'm just going to deal with my stuff. Okay, all right. And usually the ones that criticise you have got most of the 10 more issues than you, believe it or not. Okay, it's easy to blame. And finally, take full responsibility of your life. You have full control of how you react, how you feel. You can wake up in the morning and you can choose to have a good day, or you can choose to have a bad day. That is totally up to you. If someone upsets you, you have the power to react negatively or positively. And like I said before, I had an issue with people disagreeing with me, and now I realise it's just your opinion, and I haven't given it any meaning whatsoever. And it's usually the meaning that you give to that situation. And I know it's very easy for me to stand up here and say that, but that came about with a lot of work on myself. So usually when I get into a situation, yeah, it's triggered, but I know how to diffuse that situation as well. That comes to the end of my presentation. Thank you very much. If you need to contact me, my website is www.desoconnors.com. The phone number's there and the email's there. and I hope that was an enjoyable presentation. Thank you very much.